and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 193 for the week of January 19th, 2015. My name is Ryan Higgins, who is here with me this week.
Brock Sager,
Bryce,
and Charlie.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Toby's going to be here. He's a few minutes late. We waited, but we waited long enough, Toby. We're here. And we're going to talk about all of Toby's topics now that he's not here. So, no, that'd be mean. I won't do that.
But he'll just show up as soon as we're done. And
yeah. Handful of stuff to talk about this week. I got some questions, so we'll do that. This is the week of announcing announcements. So
do you have an announcement?
I have an announcement to announce about the announcements of the announcements. So I'm going to announce that Marvel has announced their announcement of all new, all different Avengers #1, and we'll find out more about that.
Wait, so it's going from all new Marvel now to all new different Marvel?
No, just all new, all different Avengers #1.
Oh, all new,
now,
all different.
I'm willing to bet anyone on this podcast a sum of money.
Oh.
a varied sum of money that this all new, all different Avengers features Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, a couple Inhumans. Anyone going to take this bet? No, of course you're not going to take this bet.
I'll take that bet. A couple of Inhumans. I think they'll have one Inhuman.
At least.
Other than that, I think that you're absolutely right.
They're ending the Hickman Avengers, and this new Avengers team is going to be the new Marvel characters who are going to be the Avengers post-Avengers 3 and 4, right? I mean, they're building up stories. This is what this is.
I think that you're
Is there any doubt?
75% accurate. I don't think that they would,
Doctor Strange.
troll people. You said that.
Oh, did I?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I don't think that they would troll us so bad that's who. But I do agree that is 75 to 80% accurate. That's my opinion.
They have to put Black Panther somewhere. Aren't they canceling the Mighty Avengers?
Oh, Mighty Avengers have been gone for months now.
Put him somewhere. He's nowhere right now.
Cap in the Mighty Avengers. Well, he's in New Avengers.
Yeah, he's in the New Avengers.
Oh, Toby. Oh, we should just waited like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. He and Namor had that bitch fest a couple issues back.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the different.
Well,
part.
Namor.
Anytime I hear different, I'm like, oh, it's some.
Is it Namor dead? No, didn't Black Panther kill Namor?
as far as I know, Bryce just bought his books. So way to spoil.
Oh. I'm sure he'll be back.
Dude, are you kidding?
I don't know.
Did that just happen?
I haven't read it yet.
Did that happen this week?
I don't know. I thought that happened a couple weeks ago.
No, it was in this
Ryan.
week's issue.
I just picked up my books. I will be caught up by Wednesday, but god damn it.
I'm sorry. I haven't even read it. I just saw a thing and I was like, yeah, I'm sure he'll get better. Welcome, Toby.
Hello.
How are you?
That's all right.
Sorry, we figured it was 7. I figured we'd start.
Welcome to the podcast.
I said I'd be here.
I know. You got your food to eat anyway. So
All you've missed is Ryan spoiling the comic Bryce just bought.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
okay.
podcast is you, me, Charlie Brock, and the new Brock.
the new Brock. Well, so not only did Marvel announce they were going to announce the all new, all different Avengers, they also announced the announcement of the Secret Wars announcement to end all announcements.
That makes me so mad.
So Marvel put out a little post that they are going to have.
It wasn't a post; it was an announcement.
Well, it was an announcement about an upcoming announcement, of course, tomorrow. So by the time the majority of you hear this, you would have heard what this announcement is.
God, there's so many announcements.
But this is the announcement to end all announcements, live on Marvel.com/Secret Wars, Tuesday, January 20th at 3 p.m. EST. So by noon here, when I'm knee-deep wading through new comics for Tuesday, Marvel's announcement of their Secret Wars announcement is going to be announced. So have fun with that, guys. And Bryce looks like he's going to just jump off a building.
No, I mean, announcing an announcement is like one thing that takes a lot of balls to like be so ridiculous. But to even claim that it's the announcement to end all announcements, like regarding Secret Wars, if it was like the announcement to end all announcements about like the restructuring of Marvel or something, then it's like, okay, maybe. But it's about Secret Wars, and so it's like, this is the announcement to end all announcements until later on Tuesday when you have another
Well, and Marvel solicitations went up today, and there was like nothing in it. I mean, nothing special. I mean, there was like nothing new. It just, same old book. So there was no big thing. So it's weird that I would have thought maybe their big thing would be in that previews because this is the stuff that starts April, and isn't that when Secret Wars starts?
Right. I was gonna. So I hope that this announcement ties into the whole time runs out thing. They still could pull something out of their ass with an actual cool twist of some kind in the Marvel universe that we don't see coming. They could, but it's
But we've been reading comics too long.
yeah,
Highly unlikely.
not bloody likely.
Well, like I said, I'm sure Namor will be fine soon enough. So,
God damn it!
It's just a Band-Aid.
speaking of Band-Aids,
He punked. So I haven't read this last week's issue, but he punked Black Panther. Black Panther versus Namor. That should not even be a fight. That's like that. Was it AVX when Iron Man fought Magneto and Iron Man won, or like when Namor fought the Thing underwater and the Thing won. Like this just makes me so angry.
Wolverine versus Lobo.
Okay. When you read it, you will not be angry
All right. I trust Charlie's opinion.
because there's more to it. than
Okay. Stop it, New Brock.
What's there?
New Brock.
We're all going to just get various new Brock.
He's New Brock. He's New Brock too.
Got it. Okay.
He's classic Brock.
Yeah,
he's
classic.
vanilla Brock.
Okay.
Charlie's vanilla Brock.
I'm the number one cable fan Brock.
Charlie's Cherry Brock.
Yeah.
Well, he's wearing a red shirt, so he could be Cherry Brock.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, Brock 52.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, what's the questions? What questions do we have?
Well, no
What-
questions.
it's
No questions yet.
We're
Okay,
talking
okay.
about the Band-Aid.
But yes, you had mentioned Band-Aids, and so DC did announce their announcements of the April 2015, the full Convergence solicitations. This is the 2-month fill-in event that DC is going to have in April and May.
So has Toby heard about the book that's just for him?
I don't know. I had mentioned some of this before, so I'm not sure who's heard what. So I'm going to very quickly go over all the books and.
No. You got to start with the one just for
Yeah,
Toby.
you gotta
Well, it's
Start with
right at the top. So,
Okay.
And the major creator, because these are all kind of fill-in issues, as they're calling it, they're not done by the normal creative teams. Now, some of these artists, Toby's going to yell at me because most of these artists I don't know of, and I don't know that most of them are.
Well, Ryan, you don't know a lot of things, so it's okay.
That is true. I don't know that a lot of these are big name artists, so I'm going to kind of skip around a little bit. Most of this is going to be dealing with the writers, but I'll let you know who's doing these books, and definitely jump in here if you have something to say between characters. So there's 40 books as well as the Convergence weekly series. They're going to be run during April and May, taking place of all the DC books while they go on hiatus, because right now DC's moving offices. Mm-hmm. So the books are Convergence, written by Jeff King. It's kind of co-written by Scott Lobdell and I think someone else is kind of involved in it in some fashion. But Jeff King, who did White Collar and a bunch of other TV shows, I don't know if this is his first
Jeff
comic work.
Austin.
Huh?
Is it Austin?
Austin?
Yeah.
Jeff King?
Really?
Yeah. He's like the showrunner.
Jeff Austin? ESTIN?
Jeff King? I mean, there's maybe other guys. I don't know. But this is just, White Collar is kind of his big current thing. And DC's been very successful with taking Hollywood guys and having them write comics. So I'll be very curious to see how this turns out. But he's doing the main Convergence series, which is going to focus on sort of the main story of, I'm assuming the characters kind of fighting Brainiac, because that's what this is about. So a number of these books take place pre-New 52.
Yeah, Jeff Austin
I don't know.
is the creator of White Collar.
Okay. And so is Jeff King. He's a producer and the co-producer and one of the showrunners for the whole series. And that's where I saw his name. And Continuum. Those are like the two most recent things
Jeff
he's done.
King, one episode.
No.
I swear to God, I'm on my IMDb right now.
Co-executive producer, 61 episodes. He's a producer of the entire show. Yeah, he's one of the head guys of the show. I'm looking at it right now.
The key point is that he's an executive producer.
All right, but he's
Actor list or
No, I'm looking at the
Executive
creators.
producer credits can be given to
Jeff
secretaries.
Austin is the creator, though.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
any event.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
King was involved in this show.
Yeah, White Collar, Continuum, a few other
Show is
shows.
freaking fantastic.
So a number of these books take place just prior to the New 52. Or, I'm sorry, if the New 52 had not been relaunched, kind of the continuation of what would have happened. Some of these books are from the versions of the characters from the 90s. Some of these versions of these characters are from pre-Crisis, and some of them are Silver Age characters. So it's kind of a mix here. I'll let you know what's coming up. Nightwing and Oracle 2-issue miniseries written by Gail Simone. Dick and Babs are engaged, and this is the continuation for Pre-New 52.
I have a hard-on right now.
Yeah, week 1, I believe, is Pre-New 52. So, The Atom by Tom Pater, Batgirl, including Black Bat.
Yes!
And it's
I have a double hard-on now.
Yeah. By Alyssa
Please don't knock twice.
Whitney. I don't know her, but that seems cool. The Question by Greg Rucka and Cully Hamner. That's one of the ones I'm
Very nice.
the most happy for. That's the creative team that was writing the question backups.
That's the mail question, right?
No. This is
It's Montoya.
this is all the pre-New 52 stuff.
Okay.
Speed Force #1 by Tony Bedard and Tom Grummett. This is Wally and the kids. So this is the Mark Waid version of the Flash before.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Superman by Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks. This is Lois is pregnant with Superman's baby. That's kind of the
Wait, that's already been done. It's a movie.
yeah.
He's still. So is he still a citizen at that point?
I don't know.
Okay.
Batman and Robin by Ron Mars and Dennis Cohen. This continues again the Damian Batman stuff. I don't. Is this Dick? I don't even know. It might be Dick. Well, it's Damian Wayne and Jason Todd. So.
Well, if it is Dick, it's Toby's.
It's Harley Quinn by Steve Pugh and Phil Winslade, and that's featuring Gotham City Sirens. So that's Harley, Poison
And
Ivy,
Captain Carrot.
Oh yes, that's Captain Carrot. Well, right, because so they're fighting guys from other dimensions.
I know.
Right? That's sort of the pitch of the series.
I just found it interesting. It's the
Who's
Sirens fighting
Oh, the Sirens are
Captain
fighting- nice.
Carrot.
The all-female Justice League, just called Justice League #1 by Frank Terry. That should be kind of cool. Titans, which is again Donna Troy, Arsenal with his robot arm, Starfire. I mean, by Fabian Nicieza. Aquaman, this is again the just pre-current News 2 stuff by Tony Bedard and Cliff Richards. And then we go back to the 90s. This is Charlie's bonerific issue, Green Lantern Parallax by Tony Bedard. Justice League International, this is the JLI, this is Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, all those guys by Ron Mars. Matrix Supergirl by Keith Giffen and Timothy Green II. That's the...
Linda?
No, that's before. It's the green or the purple ooze Supergirl that was like in love with Lex Luthor or whatever.
Yeah, I was running around with Lex Luthor, right?
Yeah,
Harry Lex Luthor.
Yeah, with the big red hair.
And beard.
Yeah. Man of Steel #1 by Louis Simonson. That is a Steel book. Shadow of the Bat by Larry Hama and Philip Tan. That's As-Bats for all you 90s fans. As-Real Batman. Catwoman #1 by Justin Gray, and this is the 90s Catwoman with the purple and the black boots.
Nice.
The what's his name? What the hell's the guy?
Valentino.
Jim Ballant. Yeah, Jim Ballant art.
So basically, it's all 80s and 90s DC goodness.
So we just the first quarter we just had was pre-New 52. Now we're in the 90s. Green Arrow #1 by Christy Marks, Rags Morales, which I'm excited for that. More art by Rags. And again, this is the version post-crisis version, the 90s one, the one that had to cross over with the
mustache,
the Question and all
the
that.
mustache and the beard. And
Ron Scott's favorite comic, Suicide Squad, featuring Fat Amanda Waller by Frank Terry and Tom Mandrake. Superboy #1 with the jacket, Fabian Nicieza and Carl Maloney. And then we go to the
know is the jacket.
And then we go to the 80s, and it'd be pre-crisis. New Teen Titans, featuring Donna in her red with like the little stars around the side and everything, by Marv Wolfman and Nicola Scott. I'm very, very excited for that book.
Art-wise, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Brock's got his boner on. Batman and the Outsiders #1 by Mark Andreyko and Carlos Danda as well. So that
Carlos Danda is doing Outsiders?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
fucking phenomenal.
There's some cool people working on these books that haven't
Carlos
worked.
Danda's going to rock that book.
And some people that haven't worked for DC in a while.
Yeah.
So boner count, we've got 3. Got to get 2 more.
Oh, yeah. It's Cable by DC Comics. Boing, boing.
Green Lantern Corps, again, this is the post-Hal kind of not being involved in the book pre-crisis Green Lantern Corps series. David Galler. Don't know him. Justice League America. This is the Justice League Detroit version by Fabian Nicieza and Chris Cross, who I haven't seen that name in years. Yeah. I don't know what he's up to.
Is he going to make you jump?
Yeah, he might.
Jump.
Wonder Woman by Larry Hama and Josh Middleton. Again, Joshua Middleton. What the hell has he been up to? I haven't seen that guy's name in anything.
So are all these guys coming back because they are only obligated to do 2 issues?
I think so.
I'm hoping some of them might stick around.
Again, because you're not seeing really any typical DC creators here, except for, I mean, there's a couple, but again, these guys are filling in for the teams as they work on their books during the break and everything.
This is
so these
awesome.
books,
But
I'm honestly,
this is really cool.
and these
honestly
books,
more excited about this in a long time for DC books.
these books have already been done for months at
Yeah.
this point. They were worked on prior to the move.
But
So
everybody's also supposed to finish their story arcs and all that, so we don't know post Band-Aid what the teams are actually going to be.
well, and there was also 13 books canceled,
Canceled.
plus the 3 weeklies. That's 25 titles that have to get
So
relaunched.
there. See, this is, yes, I realize it's just wishful thinking, but yes, the fact that Rucka's willing to do a book for DC again means
No.
he could potentially do more.
No, Rucka's not going to join on back at DC for a monthly book.
Maybe not a monthly
No,
book.
maybe not a monthly, but
But they
might.
need to, so how many? They need to reboot basically, or not
25
reboot.
titles. There's going to be 25 new number ones in June, at a minimum.
What is the retailer corner of yours? When do they announce that, or when should they announce that to be able to be restarting them in? What is it? Would you say May?
February 7th, I think. There's a retailer meeting in LA that I'm going to. I believe we'll.
Is that the?
Are you taking Leanne
So how
again?
many?
Might know some.
How many people can go to that?
I can.
Yeah,
get
I'd like
more
to go
people
1 year.
get
Yeah.
these.
Are you taking Leanne or actually someone that reads comic books from this table?
I'm not taking anyone. I think I'm just going.
Oh,
I don't
I may
know.
go
The
with that.
post I saw
Denied.
said,
Yeah.
or do you work at a comic shop?
Adventures of Superman #1 by Marv Wolfman. Supergirl with the headband. And then I think at this point we're getting into. Oh no, this still says Crisis.
this
oh
would
yeah,
be a lot of fun for a lot of people. You're gonna have a lot of like joyful people coming in and go, woo!
my old characters.
Yeah.
And the rest of these guys, I'm not sure. Some of this stuff is like pre-Crisis. Some of it's Silver Age.
It's going beyond the Ryan years.
Dan Abnett doing The Flash. Hawkman and Hawkgirl by Jeff Parker and Tim Truman. That should be awesome. Legion by Stuart Moore. Swamp Thing by Len Wein and Kelly Jones. That looks really cool. Action Comics by Justin Gray, which looks kind of... Amanda Connor's doing the cover. Detective Comics by Len Wein. Infinity Inc. #1 by Jerry Ordway and Ben Caldwell. Justice Society America by Dan Abnett and Tom Derenick. World's Finest, which is going to be the Seven Soldiers of Victory by Paul Levitz. Crime Syndicate #1 by Brian Buccicello and Phil Winslade. Blue Beetle. This is also features the original Question and the original Captain Atom, the one with the silver arms and everything, by Scott Lobdell. Shazam by Jeff Parker. That should be kind of cool. Plastic Man and the Freedom Fighters by Salman Oliver and John McCrae. John McCrae has done shit for years. And finally, Booster Gold by Dan Jurgens. So that's a huge list of books, but these are all going to be your books for April and May from DC. So some cool old school characters coming back for...
I'll be buying more DC books than I have in a long time.
Yep.
Me too.
2.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, that was
Yeah.
I held up 3 fingers for
Yeah.
those on the podcast. I'm excited about Shazam. I'm excited about everything that Fabian does.
Yeah.
I call him Fabian.
Fabes.
When we're drinking beers. But no, that sounds really cool. Like I wish that Claremont wasn't doing Nightcrawler, and they could Marvel could have some sort of cool thing where they get all their.
Well, Secret Wars is the same. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the multiverse.
Right, but they're
of
not going to
Marvel,
get
right?
like the old classic artists and writers.
They might.
Maybe that's their announcement.
We don't know. We don't know who's doing Secret Wars.
Maybe
They
that
haven't.
is their announcement to end all announcements.
Jim Lee to do X-Men again.
The funniest part is that this podcast is going to be posted like an hour or 2 before this announcement tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, it's going up tonight, but most people will hear it tomorrow, probably as the announcement's going up for
or
Marvel.
after, yeah, because it's noon for us on the West Coast.
Oh, tomorrow's the announcement?
Yeah. The announcement
Anyway,
will be
I this is great for them. Good job, DC. I hope that Marvel can do something equally or more cool.
But
So if Marvel wants to like match it, I want Ben Reilly back as Scarlet Spider. I want some of my other dorky 90s
Well,
stuff back. I want the New Warriors with Night Thrasher back.
Well, we talked about it. They already had their kind of breakdown of what the what their Secret Wars lineup is. I mean, we went through this a couple months back.
Oh wait, all the weird revisiting the big storylines,
the big events, and Planet Hulk.
Was it an official video that I saw?
Yeah.
I saw a video. Okay, so it was an official
kind of like
video.
the map falling down.
Fill in the countries, or the continents, or whatever it was.
Yeah, so
Marvel,
that's like
Marvel Risk.
each.
That would be awesome. By the way, they probably even have it. And
So-
you probably own it.
Each of these.
Oh, yeah, it's the Doctor Who version.
I have the Doctor Who Risk. I don't think they have a Marvel Risk, but I could totally see an Old Man Logan Risk. That would be
That
awesome.
would be awesome.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
So each of these books from Marvel are like a certain event reality, I guess, takes over part of Battleworld. So
Battleworld?
Yeah, they're going back to Secret Wars, the original Secret Wars.
It's like I don't know when we talked about it before. I kept seeing those what if issues after a big story
I mean,
arc would
actually,
happen.
that's cool.
That's what they are, yeah.
I think it's cool. I mean, I actually really enjoyed the first two Secret Wars, and so doing one with crossing different timelines and different realities, I'm all for it. Why not?
I'm for it, but as was already sort of brought up, I really wish they could woo back certain creators and stuff to do their pocket of that multi-story.
I didn't realize that Fabian Nicieza was so DC heavy. Like, I think of him as being such a Marvel crony.
He worked a lot of DC in the 2000s.
He's incredibly prolific. So, like, I'm not surprised, but
He wrote a bunch of Gambit.
Gambit, New Warriors, like, I mean, what?
Didn't he do
X-Men,
New Warriors back in the
Thunderbolts.
day?
Yeah, New Warriors,
Oh yeah,
X-Men,
all over
Thunderbolts,
the
Nomad,
I love Nomad.
X-Force.
all over X-Force and X-Men.
Yeah, he took over X-Men after
I don't think any
Claremont left.
X-Factor, but yeah, no, that's how I know him. I didn't know that he did so many books for DC, but yeah, it would be awesome to get classic creators back on some Marvel books. I mean, I like that it's only 2 months because it's like you don't have to probably want to risk it being delayed or some drama.
And I should say on the retailer end, for people that have maybe seen our recent pre-orders go up on the store site at comicsconspiracy.biz for the Harley Quinn variant month or the movie variant month, and I want to say 2 weeks, I will have
Movie
up.
variant month.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Really? Are we getting the little Nightcrawler cover with them as gremlins?
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
That'd be
dude,
great, though.
they
No, it's
do that as a-
the DC variants. We will have a full Convergence set up. It's 89 issues. You'll get that at a nice discount if you order the entire set, and we'll ship it out either once a month.
$400?
Well, we'll ship it out when they, once a month, so you get half and half. So yeah, look for that if you're interested in getting that and get it at a little discount.
Oh, half and half.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Convergence seems pretty cool, and I'm excited for Secret Wars, whatever it ends up being. I'm assuming we're going to hear all about that tomorrow. So next week on the podcast, Bryce will have a whole lot to say about that.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
Bryce, speaking of talking about stuff, what you reading?
I'm on.
Oh, okay, you are still reading. Okay, never mind. No, continue. I thought you were reading a different book for some reason, but that's what I wanted you to tell me you were reading. What are you reading?
That's okay. I'm about on page 8 of Jason Aaron and John Cassidy and somebody Martin's Star Wars #1.
Yes.
I feel bad that I don't know the inker's name. Let me just pull it up real quick. Oh no, it's not there. Okay, I'm gonna. Sorry, I don't know your name, inker, but I don't like John Cassidy, so by default, I'm not the biggest fan of you. Star Wars #1.
Yes.
And I'm only trying to catch up because I know that we're going to be talking about it, and I don't want New Brock over here to spoil
New Brock 52.
how Han kills Luke and whatever. But for those of us listening
How
at
Leia
home,
and Chewie go
Shit,
off
that's
together.
going to happen?
it takes place after Episode 4,
Yes.
otherwise known as Star Wars, until they came out with the next Star Wars, so they changed the name to A New Hope.
Correct.
So
I can tell you now, Han and Luke aren't killing anything except maybe characters that are brand new because we already know how everything ends. There's nothing that's going to change.
Han and Luke are going to get together?
Maybe.
So this is the first canon since Episode 3.
Yeah.
So all the Dark Horse don't count?
Yep. Dark Horse.
Dark Horse video games.
Everything. Clone Wars.
Clone
Well, no,
Wars.
technically Rebels. Rebels technically is prior to this. Rebels has already been
I
out.
think Clone Wars counts.
Clone Wars
the
counts.
Cartoon Network.
Because all the
I think that
really?
one
Yeah,
did.
because they
Yeah.
kept
wasn't
the
made
first
by,
3.
that wasn't made by Disney. It's
No,
out.
but when they listed what was counted, because that was sort of a television property, they included it.
I think the list was. The list was Star Wars 1 through 6. I think that's the list.
Yeah, but if you're going to include Clone Wars, that's a completely attached
was
to.
it canon
they don't
before?
produce Clone Wars.
I think that we should have researched this before
Was
the
it canon
podcast.
before?
All right, here is for those that don't know. Prior to Lucas's sale of Disney,
Yes.
a sale of Star Wars to Disney,
Yes.
there was like 3 tiers, I believe, is how it was laid out of Star Wars canon.
Of how legit canon it is?
There was the movies,
Yes.
4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3. Those are 100% absolute canon.
It will be
All right. Then you kind of get the...
Except for 1, 2, 3, maybe not canon.
Well, exactly. I think stuff like Clone Wars existed on this secondary tier that it like in the original Clone Wars miniseries. I don't know if the droids or the Ewoks movies or any of that stuff. I don't know where they put that.
Ewoks movies are freaking canon.
But I think they put that on like a sort of second tier of canon. And then the books, the novels, the comics, the video games, that's all like bottom rung stuff.
All Heir to the Empire is not real?
No, everything I've read was that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars. That's it. And so we've had Rebels, which is actually by Disney.
It is the films, Clone Wars, and the upcoming Rebels.
Okay.
So Clone Wars does count.
Okay.
Take that, new Brock.
All right. Who's saying this? Where is this info? What's your source?
ScreenRant.com.
Okay, they're all right. Okay, well, I didn't know that. Okay, well, sure. So there you go. So 6 films.
No,
so Rebels is the first new.
Well, Rebels has to because that's what they're pumping on the Disney
and that's
Channel.
their own thing. But this is the first official comic, or because there's been no Rebels.
So does that mean there's not going to be a Mara Jade at all?
No. Well,
Or there's new versions of it?
she is one of the. So when we were talking about
what?
when we were talking on the Geek Box a little while ago, I thought there was 2 things that they should keep. One, I believe I said the Old Republic, because the Old Republic was just so disconnected from everything else that they could do whatever they want. But Mara Jade was the other. She's kind of like Star Wars' Harley Quinn. Like, she's kind of the character that really took off in the fiction, that way above every other character. I think if they're going to keep anyone, they keep her. But we don't know.
But Heir to the Empire and all that trilogy stuff, no go, huh?
Don't know.
Wow.
Well, so it's all being reissued. It's all being reissued under Star Wars Legends is the name of the.
So it's like a spin-off.
And Marvel's going to reprint all of Dark Horse's stuff.
Yeah.
The first trade's already been
It's like
solicited.
free money for them.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wait.
All the work's been done.
Yep.
Star Wars.
All of Dark Horse's stuff
That's
gets
gotta hurt Dark Horse so badly. They're
all
like, you motherfuckers.
all the Marvel Star Wars stuff was reprinted by Dark Horse because they had the license to it. They just couldn't put the Marvel logos and stuff on it. Like
That's
the
crazy.
day after, January 1st, all of the Star Wars, well, not all, but a big chunk of the Star Wars digital stuff was available on Comixology, which Dark Horse doesn't put stuff on there. So they just dumped Marvel dumped a ton of trades on Comixology.
Wow.
So, but anyway, 8 pages into our new Star Wars canon.
Well, I'm 10 pages in now.
Okay, how you like it?
Well, I just don't like John Cassidy, but I love Jason Aaron, so I like it.
Yeah.
So far, 10 pages in, it's about a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm sure that it requires reading the whole thing, so I'll let you guys that have actually read it talk about it. But man, I love Star Wars. Like when people do the whole Star Trek, Star Wars thing, I'm not enough of a sci-fi geek to be able to weigh in with any credibility. But man, I love Star Wars so much more.
Anyone else who wants to jump in? Who read Star
You're
Wars?
just
was
like
great.
the arch enemy for Ryan.
Yeah.
He's a Star Trek man. You're a Star Wars man.
New Brock over
He's a
there,
DC man.
New Brock
He's
is
a
like,
DC man. You're a Marvel man.
yeah. Everything he is, I'm just against it. I'm penciling.
No, the comic itself did a very, very good job of capturing the different characters' voices very well. The Cassidy art, I really enjoyed. I thought they captured the likenesses very, very well. In terms of the proper way to sort of start a series out at Marvel, now that it's under the Disney umbrella, this was the way to do it. You put a very good writer with a very good artist. You pump it up. You get people who open the book to not be turned off by it, unless you're Bryce. And,
No, I'm not turned off. Keep going, but I'm still in it.
But-
I'm in for issue 2, and I'm
and-
only 11 pages in.
I was very, very happy we still had some, since the amount of times people came in yesterday saying, I've been looking for this everywhere and nobody has it.
Yeah, we ordered a lot of Star Wars. Number one, this is.
Did you order 500?
Didn't order 500. So we ordered a lot. Prior to this, I think it was Uncanny Avengers #1 and Justice League #1 are the only books that we've sold more copies of than this. And by the time we're done, we may sell more copies of Star Wars than those two. Maybe not Justice League, probably Uncanny Avengers. Star Wars had a lot of variants.
Yeah.
But I've never kicked myself more than this for not getting the store exclusive covers. So Marvel has a deal. If a store orders 3,000 copies of a cover, we can get a store exclusive cover. We can get our own cover on those 3,000 copies, front and back. All right.
Wait, what do you mean your own cover?
Yeah. So they've done this for a bunch of different books in the past. So we can get a Marvel licensed artist to draw a cover, and Marvel prints it, and it's only available to us.
Dude, that's awesome.
3,000 copies.
Yeah,
Which is a lot of
Could have
copies.
had our faces on it.
No, I mean, it has to be Star Wars stuff. It has to be approved. I mean, so there's lots of steps. We have to pay for the art. So or part of the art's paid for it. It's a lot. So if the book was $5, normally on a $5 comic, we're paying, like $2.25 per copy or something like that. We would have been paying like $3.25 per copy on that book because you have to pay extra. You don't get the same discount. You have to get it direct shipped. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot more expensive. About 50 stores did it though. 40 some odd stores did it. Man, some of those covers are awesome, and they had like legit creators do
like
the art.
$10,000.
Huh?
It's like $10,000.
Yeah. So my cost on them,
Like our
right?
cost is
Right. My
$10,000.
cost would have been something like $10,000. However, for those 3,000 copies, I would have got, because they really pumped up the variants on this issue. We would have got those. We would have got 6 of those 1 in 500 covers. We would have got, the 30 of the 1 in 100 covers. And man, those variants have been selling hand over fucking fist everywhere. I've never kicked myself for not doing something as this. Obviously, it would have been a huge upfront cost. But if you search on Bleeding Cool, they have 69 covers for #1 between the different comic stores, store exclusives. Marvel had 17 variants, I believe, that shipped to retailers.
Interesting that they stopped
Store
at 69.
covers
That's,
How are the store exclusive covers doing? Are those going bonker money?
Well, and that's the thing, right? Most stores are selling for $10 to $20 each, somewhere in that range, and they seem like they're selling like crazy, right? And especially with all the variant covers, you don't need to sell that many.
How many of those store variants were we gotten? If we did,
well, if we got 3,000 copies, we would have got 3,000 of them.
oh, it's just that one.
Just that cover, yeah.
Oh.
So you have to order the regular book as well. So I would have had to order some copies of the regular cover. But,
so it's more than a $10,000 investment,
right? But those store covers you're the only one to get them, and all 3,000 of those are your cover.
Actually, that's not that bad. If you think about it,
it's not that bad. Long
telling that now.
long
It's already
term.
over.
yeah, but look at all the crazy Star Wars collectors out there,
And
right?
see-
3,000 copies,
He already
not that
said
many.
he's kicking himself more than anything.
Well, I'm
know.
gonna kick him more down.
I
because
agree
you
with
know how many
you.
times he
Yeah.
makes me feel bad? I'm gonna fucking tell him right now, you're a freaking idiot.
See, what did it for me is the amount of variant covers that they had for this book. I'm kind of kicking myself because I could have made up the money for it.
You said there were 69 variants?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
You could have been number 70.
well, and then
Because there's
well-
like 40 stores that did it, right? And the covers were not just like nobody's. It's Frank Cho did a cover, Dave Dorm did a cover, Turner did a couple, or not Turner.
Whoa, that's
Campbell.
The
Hashtag
force,
insensitivity.
the force that the cover, the force,
the blue ghost of the blue ghost of Michael Turner did the cover.
No, that cover's
They had
gotta
this-
be like a $3,000 book.
J. Scott Campbell did a couple covers. Stan Sakai did a cover, which actually was really cool looking. Like legit creators did all the covers for these stores. They had a cover parodying New Mutants '98. They had like a cover.
What?
Of, yeah, with Vader and I think it was Vader and Boba Fett. There's a cover of Amazing
Dude.
Spider-Man 129, the one where Spidey's getting shot by the Punisher with Han Solo and Boba Fett. Like there's some.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
There's some really cool.
Oh, you fucked
Yeah.
up, man.
I know.
You fucked up good.
God, it's just that.
And the other store logos on it too.
oh yeah.
Oh, you fucked
And
up
you
real
get the,
good.
and you get the
then,
back
man.
cover and
Oh,
stuff like that.
shit.
So, oh man,
Could have done a Patreon.
I've never kicked. I've never kicked myself harder than not doing this. Again, the upfront cost is just so ridiculous, but you make it work.
You never freaking even talked to us about it. Maybe I would shut you some money, even though I owe you like a lot.
it was so expensive, but the covers are awesome. So anyway, but Star Wars, yeah. So we were. I mean, Wednesday was just ridiculous. We just had people. First guy in the store bought one of every cover, one including the one per store cover, variant covers, like just every cover we had on the shelf. It was madness on Wednesday.
We can't do it now anymore? Is there a second printing?
There is a second print that a lot of people
variant
think.
cover number 70.
Yeah, there's a second print that rumor is already sold out because they have to go to press kind of early on the second prints.
But there's no second printing store cover anymore?
No,
You
no,
really
no.
missed out?
Yeah, I know.
Shit, fuck.
But
This
yeah.
is so much better than like the Godzilla one or any of these other ones because this is Star Wars number
Well, and that's
one.
the thing. So Marvel's done it for other comics, and it's
Yeah.
like it would have been cool to do like Spider-Man 700 or all
but
these.
this is Star
But this
Wars
is Star,
number one.
and that's why I'm kicking myself because man, I really should have tried to find a way to make this work.
That's tough though, dude. Like sinking 10 G's
It's
in.
a lot
like,
of money.
Oh, it's more than 10. It's like
He
12.
owns like all the Avengers. If it all comes down to it,
I don't know.
not selling
That is
scraps,
tough though. I mean, hindsight 2020.
Sure, of course, because it could have been like meh, maybe no one cared, right?
How long was the line on Wednesday morning?
Well, it doesn't even have a line, but it was just 100 people in
Constant.
here
People
right at the morning.
And
The amount of people that didn't buy Star Wars number one was like 5 all day long or something stupid. It was the best Wednesday we've had in at least a couple months.
And other than like the Death of Wolverine when it first came out, I have not had that many phone calls for a book on a Sunday.
And it was all day. It was all day, every day, right? Because every day I was here. Oh, do you have more number ones? Do you have number ones? Because apparently, most stores sold out. And I ordered pretty
200.
heavy. Yeah, and we still have some, but not that many. So yeah, there's way bigger demand
gotta
for
get
this
my
than,
copy then.
than most people thought.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, but quality-wise, the book was excellent. I loved
Yeah.
it.
It was fantastic. Yeah,
I mean, I could see in a little while it kind of, Star Wars comics for me, I always get burned out. I don't ever end up following them long term. And I could see it getting maybe a little, okay, yeah, we get it. Yes, every line in Star Wars.
what, like a Spider-Man book?
I think they kind of threw all the jokes in the first issue, and hopefully they sort of move on from that. Because I don't want to keep, yes, we know all the lines from the movie. We've all seen them. Don't just keep quoting the same things over and over again. But they did a good job with it, and I hope they continue the story. They do something interesting, because that's the tough part with a book like this, because we know where it goes.
Yeah,
we know how it ends.
we know these characters aren't going to die.
Right. So I'm curious to see where they go with it. But I love the first issue.
How do we know how it's going to end? Because the new movie haven't come out yet.
This is between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, fine.
Yeah, they're just fleshing out a pocket of time that we're already aware of what happens next.
So are these kind of like maxi series, like from here to here, and then they're going to just reboot it?
So Star Wars is an ongoing series. There's an ongoing Darth Vader series as well.
Okay.
That comes out next month. There's a third series that's an ongoing series of miniseries. So it's going to be continuous,
Yeah.
but it's going to be 1 to 5, then 1 to 6,
Yeah,
and 1 to 4.
that's cool.
And the first arc is Princess Leia, and that's by Mark Waid and Terry Dodson.
What?
Which looks awesome.
Oh, shit, I'm going to buy a Star Wars book.
Yeah, that looks really good.
But no, my question is on the Star Wars that's ongoing. How do we know when it ends and then goes to another timeline?
I mean,
like,
they might jump movies at some point. I have no
Yeah.
idea. No idea. They haven't.
or they
they'll-
could pull a Timon and
they'll have
Pumbaa
a-
where like the movie happens and they're
They'll
just
have
like
a,
going
they'll
on.
have a
They could.
little thing.
They totally could.
Yeah.
They'll have a little thing at the end. You can now go watch episode 5.
I mean, they totally
Well-
could do what Toby just says and just go through the movie from an alternate perspective and just keep going, which is great.
My expectation is as we get closer to the new movie, there's got to be a comic between.
Oh, and there's what's his Common, or what's the guy from Rebels? One of the main guys. He's getting his own ongoing book as well that ties in with Rebels, but it's like not like a kid's comic. It's like
Yeah.
a legit adult comic.
But
Man,
given
baby
the
comic for
timeline
grown
of
men.
Rebels, but what I was saying is before the new movie, I'm assuming we're going to get some sort of comic after Jedi.
At least,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not picking up Marvel
Yeah.
single issues, but this is definitely on my list of stuff to own in trade at some point.
Yeah.
I am so fucked when Mark Waid is doing a book for Terry Dodson.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Very
But
excited.
I will say this much, and Bryce, you're not there yet, but I won't spoil it for you. But the end of this makes you really, really want to read issue 2 to see what happens.
I actually thought that I wasn't going to buy this, and then I heard Ryan getting all hyphy on Twitter, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll pick up number 1. Like, it's worth it. It's actually pretty good. I'm on page 15 now. It's,
Yeah, no, it's really good.
makes me want to go back and
wasn't
watch
gonna
the
buy it
original
either now.
trilogy. Yeah.
And once again, Han does not shoot first because Greedo never shoots. It's just Han shoots, period. End of story. So remember that. That's your lesson for today. Han did not shoot first. Correct this internet fallacy. Han didn't shoot first. He's the only one that shot.
Ryan said phallus.
Phallus.
So can we get on to how good Ant-Man #1 was?
Ant-Man #1 was fantastic.
You know what? My problem.
Well, hold on. Just because I know we're not going to have too many people that, well, I don't know. We'll have some conversation about this. But before Ant-Man #1, I really like Squirrel Girl #1.
God, can we move on to Ant-Man?
I really like Squirrel Girl #1.
Oh, this is awesome that he's actually saying that.
I'm like embarrassed. I haven't read it yet.
Now, it could get really annoying really fast.
I'm looking at the cover and I'm not stoked. Can you hand that to me, Charlie?
I mean, I could see it getting dumb very quickly.
I couldn't even finish it.
But I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, we know about you not finishing books, Brock.
Hey, I'm done.
So the way I look
I'm
at
wasting
this
my
book
time.
and such just has to do with the fact that it celebrates what it is. It just went as outlandish and as much fun as they want, similar to sort of the way the Tick does sometimes and stuff like that.
Bryce is giving me the Uggo face, but
Oh my god, dude! This art is killing me.
it's
I mean, I haven't read it. I'm just thumbing through it, burn reading it. But oh my god, dude! This is like, who's the artist?
so the people involved in it are the same people that do the Adventure Time comic, which may make a lot more sense now.
Oh, you probably
why it looks
love
like
that. That's
I
a
don't
total
watch
hipster
Adventure
book.
Time. I've never seen it.
Sure,
Well,
you don't.
I've seen a couple episodes, but no, I want to. I just haven't.
Adventure Time is great.
Yeah. So this is a pretty fun book. I like this way more. But Ant-Man, legit great #1.
Yeah, thanks for stopping talking
So
about this. This just looks terrible. So she's never had buck teeth or only 2 teeth.
No, I will admit I like the Bendis kick-ass version like way more, but I was surprised that I liked this issue.
Okay, good. So we've decided that. And then
You should flip to the panel where she tucks her tail in and gives herself a booty.
I don't even know what that means, but that just sounds.
Exactly.
But Ant-Man, my only problem with Ant-Man, I really liked it, was that it's basically Boomerang #1 from the Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
It's Superior Foes #1 all over again. But that's why I loved it, because that was such a good series.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well-
I mean, Scott Lang could have been in the Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Totally.
If he ever fought Spider-Man.
Right.
It's just the hoodlum with a heart of gold. Boomerang basically just replaced by Scott Lang in this one.
There's no severed head of
one for one.
Silvermane. Yeah, thanks.
yeah.
Who's the funniest character?
Well,
Dude, that series was so
It was.
good. I was so jealous that I missed out on the best of. That was going to be in my top 3 of comics for 2014 was Superior Foes.
Were you still gonna? What are you talking about? You did like 90 of your best ofs.
No, I know, but the next week when I missed it, you guys were like all doing all your best ofs that I missed out on. So I
This is why you need your website.
but you're right. I did. Okay, fair enough. I did do like 20 best ofs like the week.
You're
before.
like, what? I missed the best of. It's like, what do you mean you missed your best ofs? You like
he missed the best ofs part 2.
part 17.
Yeah, I had another 20 I wanted to talk about.
And then after the best of part 2, it's besties.
Exactly. So anyway, Ant-Man 1, I mean, loved it. Superior Foes #1 part 2.
Yeah.
So for me, one of the things I actually loved about this issue is I kind of felt like it would be the perfect issue to have a ton of leading up to like the movie and stuff, because typically when somebody comes in and they're like, tell me more about this character, you kind of have to point them towards trades to give somebody a primer. Well, this is probably the best primer issue for a character I've
Totally,
read in
yeah,
a
for
long
movie
time.
prepping.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It fits as a #1, and it fits as like a one shot. So it's
Yeah.
like you can read it and commit and go to #2, or you can read it and be like, and be done and not feel like, bad about it. Like
Yeah.
Well, I just feel
really enjoyed
bad
it, too.
about the fact we'll probably be out of it by the time the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some second prints coming. So
There's still a copy out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Because, yeah.
Oh, until Toby gets it.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. It was really good. So
Yep.
yeah, good job, Nick Spencer. Keep going with your typecast writing.
I really, really liked his big screen TV.
That was pretty funny.
It was awesome.
You made that joke last week, though.
I know. But
And he'll make it next week, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some questions here. Stefano asked a question talking about Star Wars. He says,
No, hold on. You bastard. You got the Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, yeah. He says, what ramifications do you think Star Wars will have in the comic market, reader growth-wise?
None. My opinion.
I mean, it'll bring people in for Star Wars, but a lot of times that rarely translates to something else. And again, we sell a shitload of number ones. You know,
See how number 2s do.
we'll sell a lot of number 2s, but number 6, number 8, number 12,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
So the way I look at this is actually very similar to the experience you had with like the Dark Tower and that kind of stuff. It creates a legitimate event that stirs a lot of interest in it, but over time, just like anything else, you're going to get your sort of core solid readers who are still picking it up, but the people who are uber excited, who came to the midnight release and all that.
I never saw those people again.
Exactly.
For the Dark Tower thing, we picked up one subscriber and he was gone within a year. For Star Wars, I had one guy that came in and said he wanted to start getting comics, and he grabbed that, and he wants like the other series that are coming out, but he says it sounds like he does want to start adding some other stuff to it, and it will bring a couple people back. I mean, there's no way, but is it a huge amount? No.
Well, and
but
I think a little bit of the difficulty is with Star Wars, especially since they're, saying, well, this is no longer canon. It's kind of, if we even do get new readers, it's like, well, what? I like reading this. I want to read more Star Wars.
yeah, but so few people care about that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, it's like, well, there's this stuff.
They're going to have like 5 series to pick from.
Yeah.
So
I'm not worried about people having a shortage of Star Wars to choose from.
yeah.
Till they overflood the market.
Yeah. Armando asks, with the Guardians team up coming out, do you think Marvel is oversaturating the market with Guardians titles? Yes. Absolutely. I was actually
3000.
I was kind of backing Guardians 3000 for a while, but having now read the last 2, I read the first 2 and was like, okay, this is all right, and now I've read the last 2 and I'm like, never mind, I'm done.
Yeah,
and I love the original Guardian stuff, and I love Legion, but man, this thing just does not work for me.
The Guardians 3000, I'm still reading it. It's okay, but I mean, it's kind of a headache with all the time stuff that's going on, and kind of, it's. I mean, the main Guardians book to me is suffering from it. Like, it has some really cool concept ideas.
Yeah,
but the writing in it is just
No,
it's just it doesn't.
Wait, in which one?
The regular Guardians.
So I like.
You mean Bendis? Mm-hmm. It's a great book. No, it's a good book.
I like
It's a good book.
I like Star-Lord and Rocket better than I like the main series. I'm very excited for this Gamora series when it comes out. But
they have a Gamora series? Jesus.
Yeah.
Which one do they drop? Are they dropping any of them?
But Team Up actually was announced later, but out first. So I don't know what's up with that. So
they're not getting rid of the main series.
No. I mean, Team Up will die off. Star-Lord will end. Guardians 3000 will end. They'll keep Rocket around. They'll keep Gamora around.
As long as Scotty's on it.
He didn't do the art in the last issue, so.
Oh, I didn't read
the
last
issue. Yeah.
I will tell you, they can always throw in.
I won't tell you. I won't tell you who dies.
And
then I won't tell you who dies in that issue. Then, if you didn't read it, so.
Yeah. Thanks, New Brock.
I'm joking.
Anyway, yeah, they're way oversaturated. They went from like 0 Guardians books to like, I mean, what do we have now? Once Team Up comes out and this Gamora, we'll have like 6 Guardians books.
Guardians Team Up, Guardians 3000. I mean, the upcoming Gamora book. The Guardians animated
Rocket and Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, and the animated comic that's coming out.
Well, that's 7, but there's no way that Guardians 3000 lasts for past issue 12.
Yeah, no, probably
not. But still, I mean, yeah, good for them.
Stuff still doesn't hold a candle to the Abbott and Lanning stuff.
Which is going to use that to its
still
writing
needs
3000. But it is not as good. I agree.
That's okay. Where's my omnibus?
Yeah.
Well,
the first Annihilation omnibus out of print already.
And Conquest, but I still just want a straight up Guardians omnibus.
Yeah. Which one did I buy?
They haven't done Conquest?
Well, Conquest is already out.
If you bought any, it would be the Annihilation.
Annihilation's already out. Conquest is coming out.
Okay, you ordered one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I bought Annihilation.
It's the only one out, so you must. Yeah. If that's what you bought, that's what you bought.
And that's already out of print?
Yep. Which means the soft covers are coming. That's all that means.
Covers.
It was either that or Atlanta's Attacks.
Somebody might have swapped out a copy.
Dude, I legit want an Atlantis Attacks omnibus, but I
It's out
bound
there.
them all. Dude, I had to move all of my bound books. That I have like 50 above where the new baby's going to go, and I had to move them because we don't want an earthquake hitting and the baby dying because of the complete X-Men
I mean,
volume 37.
it would be.
I mean, that's not funny, but
It would
it's
be
like,
awful if
kinda
it would
funny.
be awful if a book fell and killed your kid, but it'd be even more awful if it was Atlantis Attacks that did it. Like that would be just really rubbing it in.
Would it make up for it if it was like Secret Wars?
Yeah, maybe.
It's not funny.
Baby murder is never funny. Armando also asks,
Murder, by the way. But okay.
Marvel murdered your kid, Bryce. Can you defend them?
Earthquake, murder.
I'll find a way.
Armando asks, what's the use of uncanny from the X-Men to the Avengers now to the Inhumans? Because we have the launch of
What?
Uncanny Inhumans.
Uncanny
No
That's
way.
the Steve McNiven book. Yeah. What's the real significance of using it? I don't know. It's just
Adjectives have power.
it's the adjective, right? Marvel's adjective nature. That's just all the books have.
Well, you
these-
can just follow adjectives with them. You can go to the from Uncanny X-Men to
Well-
the Uncanny X-Force to the Uncanny Avengers.
so back
to
in the
now to
60s,
Uncanny Inhumans.
They were all like that. Invincible Iron Man, Uncanny
Mm-hmm.
Avengers, Incredible Hulk, right? But not all of them were actually the name of the title. Like Incredible Hulk was actually the title, but the book is not called the Invincible Iron Man. I think it was just called Iron Man.
Yeah.
But as time went on,
Well, no, it was Incredible or no, Invincible.
but Incredible Hulk was like actually the name of the book. I mean, I could be wrong, but
So was it filed under I for Incredible?
yeah.
well,
And
that's why they could launch a Hulk book
Yeah.
eventually.
And Amazing Spider-Man was actually the name of the title. But remember,
Yeah.
Uncanny wasn't called Uncanny X-Men till like 140 something or 130 something, like way into the Byrne run, into the Claremont run. The book was just called X-Men
No,
prior
I know.
to that.
I thought that changed in like 92. It was 140?
It's like way late in series, yeah. Yeah, like I know it changed with Days of Future Past. That's the issue. It
Oh,
changes.
I thought it changed with the giant size number
I
one.
think it's 142. No.
Okay.
So
Bryce fail.
so what you had was for that time they were just adjectives. Some of them were just adjectives that just added to the title. But Uncanny Avengers to me works because it's a combination of the X-Men and Avengers. Uncanny Inhumans, now they're just
Being assholes.
now they're just
now they're just trying to do
I
stuff
mean,
for the
adjectives
movies.
sell. I mean, when they did Age of Apocalypse and the X-Men became the Amazing X-Men, as far as I know, that was the first time they used Amazing for X-Men.
Well,
but
you
it had
kinda
been
get-
working for like hundreds of issues of Spider-Man.
But with Amazing X-Men 2, you have Iceman and Firestar in there, so you kind of got like the Amazing
Except
Friends
that,
sort
did
of
you read Age of Apocalypse?
deal.
They weren't.
No, I'm talking about the new series. Like the,
I was talking. Okay,
You're talking about the old one. Yeah.
Age of Apocalypse.
DC doesn't really do that.
I don't know. I only really became super aware of their adjectives
they have 20
through
Batman books,
Spider-Man
doesn't
just
matter.
because you had the not just like the web of, you had Spectacular, you had
Fuck.
Spider-Man Unlimited for a
Sensational.
while.
Sensational
you had,
Spider-Man.
It
Yeah.
goes from Peter Parker to
Friendly Neighborhood.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Like Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
The book is
Yeah.
just called Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter Parker was just something they threw on the top of it. So.
Yeah.
How can you even troll Spider-Man about this when Batman has so many issues? I mean,
they're not-
adjectives.
Yeah,
but
they're like colon something,
Yeah.
right?
Well, the
Have you ever
thing
tried
that
to
always
organize
weirded me
Spider-Man
out,
back issues? It sucks ass.
the thing that always weirded me out about Batman is, and this actually applies to Superman too, they have comics that don't even have the character in the name. Like when you got into like Detective Comics, it doesn't say Batman's Detective Comics and all that. So like as a kid, I'd go like looking for Batman on the cover. And
Oh, that makes sense. But didn't Detective had like 90% Batman, but like 10% other people?
it was always,
No, Detective 27 to the end was Batman.
yeah.
Oh, I thought
Minus occasionally he wouldn't be in it for some reason, but
I thought okay,
Action had a couple years where Superman wasn't in it.
Yeah.
So
Or not the main
Detective with Batman and Action with Superman. I thought that like 90% of it was those dudes, but that like occasion, or I thought that 10%.
Very
but-
occasionally.
Well, they used Detective.
okay.
1% maybe.
They used Detective before New 52 to introduce Batwoman.
yeah, Batwoman was in
Yeah.
Detective for a short
okay.
time.
I thought that. Okay,
But
okay.
it is just one of those things where like I always found that weird when I first started getting into comics that like these were like legitimate Batman books that would like cross up, but no character in the title at all. And
yeah.
that's something that's always been kind of unique to like the Batman books. When they add recently, it's kind of changed a bit when they're adding new books, but I always kind of felt like they went out of their way to set the title very unique to
Yeah.
the new series.
Well, I think it's weird that the New World's Finest book is a Seven Soldiers of Victory comic.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Why did you call it Seven Soldiers of Victory? Or All-Star Comics? That's what they were first in. World's Finest is a Superman-Batman team-up book. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. David asks a question here. It says, what series or run can you recommend that uses multiple versions of the same character, similar to Thor, God of Thunder? And the only thing I could think of was Spider-Verse, which is all of the Spider-Men.
Well,
I don't think that's exactly
almost all of the
almost
Spider-Man.
all of them. Well,
Just so you know, not every Spider-Man's in that issue.
they did work in the film versions of the guys through a conversation, as well as the one from
I
the
saw
play, the one from the musical. So they were able to kind of sneak
The
some
one
in.
that broke him, that got injured, or the one that actually did it?
Well, just the character that he
well,
was
how
in the
about the
musical.
George Takei Spider?
Oh, jeez.
Did
But
they get
you've seen that video, right?
Did they get the boner?
You
the
haven't
boner one?
seen that video?
I don't think so. George Takei is Spider-Man.
They
I'll look it up.
They put together this video a long time ago where George Takei was trying to basically sell the reason why he should be Spider-Man.
Okay.
It was a very funny video.
Nice.
Dude, that guy's a funny dude.
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, I've shockingly nothing to say. Anything with Batman or Wolverine or X-Men or Batman related. Well, I mean, those guys are all Batman, and Wolverine's dudes are. I mean, Wolverines. It is all Wolverines. They're all just takeoffs or ripoffs, but
Of the main character.
of the main character. But yeah, I mean, Thor's the best one. Spider-Verse is great, but yeah,
It's not something that they. I mean, there has been times you had like
Legion of Three Worlds.
right? No, exactly. You had the Thor core miniseries where you had like the girl Thor and she Thor, and you had Thunderstrike and a few other guys running around.
Battle of the Atom had some X-Men.
In the future and
X-Men of the future with the X-Men of the past with the X-Men of the current day.
yeah. I mean, that's as close to that's exactly the same as Thor, just not.
But there wasn't
altogether.
as much overlap there as it was with. Well, I guess Thor didn't have overlap so much as they had concurrent stories.
Yeah.
Well, with God of Thunder, it was from the past, from the present, and from the future. So Battle of the Atom was the same.
you've even within sort of the Spider-Man books, when they work back in Spider-Man 2099, that would be a good one too.
Yep.
Battle of the Atom, X-Men, go buy it. It was a great story.
No, just go read Thor.
Do they have a nice affordable trade for that yet?
They have the trade for it.
Did they have an omnibus for it coming out?
Well, they had like that hardcover.
They have a hardcover that
It's not what I said.
depressed me on the price. It depressed me.
Because it was 6 digits. You're like, what?
Oh, and
I'll
I
buy
guess we actually still got a little bit of time here, but I forgot there was one other topic we didn't get to talk about, and that's
Carmen
Agent.
San Diego?
Well, right, exactly. That's Agent Carter.
Don't be an asshole. But she totally looks like Carmen San Diego.
Now, I didn't see the third episode yet, so I saw the first two.
Third
that
one
aired.
is out?
Yeah, it was last week, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the 8-episode miniseries, 7 weeks, 8-episode miniseries from Marvel on ABC with Agent Carter, based in the late 40s,
After the war.
post World War II, post Captain America, the first movie, and kind of the building of S.H.I.E.L.D. and sort of her adventures.
Wouldn't it be pre Captain? Oh no, post that.
Yeah, Haley Atwell, Toby, right? That's her name.
Yes.
Is that her name? Yeah, she's cool, and I mean, she was good in Cap, and cool to see the movie guys willing to come and do a TV miniseries. But this great show, love it. Way better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even to this point. Maybe because it's 8 episodes, they're kind of very direct and to the point, and just get their shit going. But yeah,
Wait, you're talking about a Marvel show that does this?
but it does. It's 8 episodes. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet. I want to
very
because
good.
of that 2-hour commitment to the first one.
Well, the first episode is the first 2 episodes, so
Okay.
it's 7 weeks, 8 episodes. Who watched that? Charlie? You
Oh, yeah.
saw it, yeah. Toby.
so
you saw it?
technically, you're missing episode 4.
No.
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 So
I missed
So
the second
it's
week.
2
I
weeks
missed
worth.
last week.
There was episode 1 and 2 in the first night, and
Yeah.
episode 3
Okay.
last week.
Yeah,
I was confused when he said didn't see 3 yet because,
3. The third night is
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
week.
third night is like what tonight?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Episode 4.
So, what'd you guys think?
Oh, it was very good.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the dialogue. I liked the way the story's playing out.
Very
I liked,
good.
I liked the fact that in general, it's doing a very good job of setting it within that period of time with certain sexist sensibilities and all that existed there. And
the first episode was maybe a little heavy-handed with just a I guess maybe they're trying to be accurate. Maybe I don't know, but it felt like okay, yeah, everyone's horribly sexist. We know it. Like the first episode was just a little bit overkill, but second episode was in that regard was like, okay, this should get to.
How do you know it's overkill? Maybe it was like that, right?
Oh, I'm sure it was worse than that. Oh, I'm absolutely sure it was worse than that. But it's like we know. Just tell the story about the lady hitting the guy. Like just move on from that.
It does a very good job of moving on, and like a lot of good shows, it also has I'm not going to spoil what happened in the last episode, but it definitely ups the ante.
Well, I'm assuming
more.
Hydra is the main big bad at the end of this, right? I mean, have they kind of started to hint at that yet?
Well, even within the first two-parter, they hinted towards Leviathan, which is
Hydra, right?
So, but I mean, the last episode does a very good job of setting it to a much more sort of dangerous level and progresses the story very fast. And given where they're at in the story, and they're only 3 episodes in, I can't wait to see where it goes from here, because
and they give it a budget too. There's some good special effects in that show, a lot of good action. Yeah, I really like it. Again, way better, I think, than...
I'm hoping its ratings improve, because I hate it when really good shows don't get the ratings they deserve.
This is only a miniseries. They're not...
Yeah.
Either way, they deserve better ratings than they're getting.
Well, this is... I know, Toby, you had linked to the Constantine ratings for the new episode when it came back. They moved it to 8 o'clock. And yeah, the ratings weren't the best, but the non-live ratings for Constantine have been good. I'm sure Agent Carter's doing awesome on demand or on TiVo.
It better be.
Like, I really like the Zap It numbers site for all the ratings shit. And man, those forums are the most depressing goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, these people want blood when shows get bad, and I'm like, dude, live ratings are pointless these days. And it sucks if that's what they have to go by. But the amount of people watching these shows is not in any way, shape, or form accurate by the numbers on the Nielsen rating
That's not
stuff.
what they go by. What do you mean that's what they go by?
That's absolutely what they go by.
No. They take in the +3 and the +7.
Oh, I know, but not as much as the live ratings.
The live ratings,
well, how much is the advertisement worth to you?
Oh, I don't. That's like I said. I'm
now
not,
or a week from now.
I'm not the one. Well, and that's the thing.
But part of the problem with the +3, +7 is the fact that in most of those cases you can fast forward past
and
the
you get to skip the ratings, so it's like, it's paid for by advertisers.
Oh, I know. It sucks though that
it does suck
that the live rating is all that matters, because the guy, the showrunner from Constantine, has said they want the live numbers. They care about the +3. They don't care about the +7, because by that point the ads are for old stuff. Because a lot of the times it's for products that have passed.
And hey, showrunner, sorry, you should have gone to cable. Your show would have been way better on cable anyway.
No, sure.
Not that it's gone, but I'm just saying, Constantine, I haven't seen it, so whatever. But it would have been so much
that would have been a cool AMC show
if it was on AMC, Constantine and Walking Dead back to back.
The thing is, what's
so awesome.
What's going on though is you'll take TV shows that don't have necessarily great live ratings, but have these good 3 and 7 ratings, and if the network decides to get rid of them, they can move somewhere else now. Longmire moved to what was it, Netflix?
Yeah, well, Netflix has picked up a ton of shows,
and so Netflix and Amazon are kind of filling in that, where they're taking shows that are going and have a good following, and being okay, we'll put them out, because all they do is they shoot it, and then it's boom, watch it whenever you want.
Yeah,
that's okay. When Amazon makes that tick pilot, I will be happy.
Yeah, but to me, for comics and for things where you have kind of substantial sales data, Nielsen ratings to me are pointless, because they're not. It's a segment of the population, and there's no way that cable companies don't know exactly who's watching what these days. It's all digital. They all know exactly who's watching everything. It's all computer controlled. They know how many signals are going out and for what channels. There's no way they can't know. So I don't know. The whole thing makes me mad, but the shows make me very, very happy. I've loved Constantine this entire season, but man, Agent Carter, very good. If you haven't watched it,
I'll have to get on.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's
And now Bryce has reached the ads.
way better. Way better than I want. So, Bryce, no
Dude, this book was like half ads.
Well, welcome to a
12 pages.
comic. Yeah.
Dude, don't be disingenuous. That's not any comic. This is crazy.
The stuff in the back is all previews of the upcoming series.
Yeah, but I was like halfway through the book and the book ended.
But last page, Star Wars #1, yay, nay? Pretty cool last page.
No, I really, really liked it. I really liked it.
You really want to see what happens in issue 2?
I will maybe get issue number 2. I just don't care about, like, I have enough.
Well, I'm with you. I, at the end of the day, fall off very quickly on licensed comics. Sometimes I really, really dig them, but they don't go anywhere.
I really like that this is canon, and so it's like there's more, I guess, skin in the game.
Yeah.
That if I actually follow this, I'm actually keeping up with canon, which is not the case with so much other crap. But I don't know. It's there's a lot of money.
It eventually just sort of
a lot of money to spend.
It's like, will
do I
Jason
spend?
Aaron's run be the best part of it, and then everything else kind of sucks? Or
How long is he on board?
Well,
don't know. Ongoing.
my general feel on
Well, no, not Cassidy.
canon
Yeah.
comics, sort of like when they did the Farscape series, it was after everything that had already happened, and they got a lot of license to change things around because it was the original creator writing the comic and all that. The sort of like post-Buffy comics, again, have made radical changes to the sort of Buffy Angelverse and all that, so you kind of get a sense of, I'm really getting new material. The setting of this Star Wars book, where if you love these characters and you're dying for new stories with these characters, by all means, this is the comic to buy.
Yeah.
But as sort of already pointed out, you're not going to get some huge revelation out of it, because if it was something that huge and impactful, it should have been an Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So as of right now, when the Star Wars books ended at Dark Horse.
with Brian Wood.
No, I'm
Brian
talking about like
Woods.
not the Brian Wood. Well, hell, even at the Brian Wood one, it's about the same.
Yeah.
They were selling about a quarter to a fifth of what they were ever at the height of us carrying them. Right? So they fell quite a bit. But as I'm thinking about it, Buffy has done about the same. It's about a fourth of what it was during the height of not issue 1 episode. Not season 8 episode 1, but kind of a few issues in when it was a little stabled. How much the licensed stuff has fallen. And now that I think about it, Transformers, G.I. Joe, roughly the same, about a third or a fourth. I mean, not fallen a fourth.
Would
They've
you put
fallen.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in that now?
They've fallen to a fourth.
Yeah.
Turtles is about fallen about to a third of what it was kind of at the so
But
something.
now they've solicited a good hardcover for the new series.
But something about the licensed comics in recent years they've fallen pretty significantly. I mean, we're talking 60 to 70% drops in most of the titles, which is pretty huge. But even if Star Wars drops that much, it's still a pretty good selling book. So hopefully it's got some legs. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Before we do, Ryan Hess.
I was patiently waiting to put my 2 cents in on Agent Carter, but we went
go for it.
like a different direction.
Go for it. I can
Clearly new to the podcast.
I can remind you.
I was waiting patiently.
I can remind you to go to Ryan Hess's Reacher Free Gaming podcast, rfgpodcast.wordpress.com, after Toby talks about his Agent Carter thoughts. Talk, Toby. You're the one that wanted to talk. This is
I
all
wanted
you.
to do it last week too.
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's so
Talk.
much better than S.H.I.E.L.D. This is how S.H.I.E.L.D. should have started.
Yeah.
Like, it's likable characters. There's cliffhangers you care about. Everything I think is done right. I really, really enjoy this. S.H.I.E.L.D. has better characters now that I actually care about, but they didn't start. I mean, I hated everybody on that show, and this is like almost the opposite. Almost like everybody in this show.
Did the show Agent Carter fit in with the short that was at the end of Iron Man 3?
It acknowledges it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never seen that short
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
own Iron Man.
Yeah, I don't own it
I
either.
love.
Well, no, I want to own it, but I just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, I love Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis is a really good touch just
Yeah.
because, when you watch Iron Man and Jarvis also is robotic and an AI, you kind of go like, well, that's not like the Jarvis in the books. And now you get to see the actual Jarvis. So I'm like, that's a cool little touch. That there
He dies
maybe-
in the first episode, Bryce. Sorry.
He's totally fucking her here.
No.
Yeah. No, but Jarvis is really likable. You know, Carter's really likable. And you got the Queen Alum and the guy with the crutches. You know, I think he's likable. You know, the assholes are likable assholes. Yeah, I mean, the whole and the villains are cool so far. I really enjoyed the villain. You got the creepy guy, and everything is really done really well. And I always kind of like the you know, like Charlie, I like the miniseries because they're also easier to rewatch.
Yeah.
They're also easier to get people to watch them with you again, like in the future. Like, say, you know, a year down the road, you got friends who are like, I didn't see this. You're like, it's 8 episodes.
Well, and like I said, they don't spin
2 nights.
You can't spin your reels for half the miniseries.
I mean, you know, remember when Dollhouse was on, and then the second season decided to can it?
I don't remember when Dollhouse was on.
Fine. Hater, but whatever.
I do.
Yeah, but you know, when they
didn't like it.
It was kind of slow. But the minute they announced that we're going to kill the show, it was like, oh fuck! All right, let's start moving shit along. And it was like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, the fuck! This is the show I wanted to see. Like when they started moving shit along. So
Carnival is that show for me.
Yeah.
That was like good but slow as hell, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, the show's going at breakneck speed. Oh, now it's canceled. Oh, that's why.
I assume this is on the Playboy channel. What?
No, HBO.
Carnival was an HBO. Yeah, it ran for 2 seasons.
Okay,
Fantastic.
I wasn't being serious, but okay, good to know.
Well, I mean, the miniseries thing, it's like, I think out of all the TV shows I've ever watched, I've watched Band of Brothers like 4 or 5 times because it's you know,
Dude, miniseries so much more digestible.
It's like boom, boom, boom. You can do a little here, a little here, a little here, then you're done. But it's so chopped.
I mean, it's also quality over
stuff.
quantity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a nice format, right? I mean, to Charlie, you know, miniseries are just series in England when the whole season is only 8-10 episodes, right? You know?
I really like Sherlock because it's like it's a commitment of like 3 episodes and
Well, those are 3 movies.
Well, 3 movies, but
yeah.
You know, it's like I get a good chunk of it, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. Whereas some shows, it's like
it's a nice format. I really do dig it. I mean, I just re-showed Orphan Black to some of my friends. I've never seen it. I just watched it with them again. I'm about to show them Children of Earth.
Show.
I'm about to show them Children of Earth, which is only 5 episodes. Fantastic. I mean, it's just a nice format. It's like it's a little more than a movie, you know, but you know, you get to hang with your friends, maybe do a couple snackies in between and stuff, and you know, have some beer and wine.
Have you ever seen The Fall? Season 1 of The Fall? It's not a comic book.
Is it good?
thing, but-
I've seen some of it. It was on like Netflix, so I
it's
started
a
watching
Netflix show.
it.
Yeah.
I liked
It's
Kings.
Gillian Anderson, if I recall.
Yeah.
Anyways, Agent Carter, I highly recommend it. I really like it as a comic book show.
Yeah.
I do hope that to succeed, that maybe down the line we could get a sequel to it, or maybe even another Marvel spin-off. What if they do like another 8-part Marvel thing on TV? Like Otter from Daredevil and all that stuff. And
I would love-
Get the Nick Fury miniseries.
I would love them to do.
This is like basically a limited series, right? So it's like, yeah, we could do the Nick Fury, we could do a new Warriors.
Here's what I would love: half a season of Shield, a 8-episode flashback, like Shield flashback. So like Shield in the 60s, Shield in the 70s, Shield in the 80s, kind of different takes on.
I'm thinking you just announce what the last episode is going to be, but all right.
And then you go back and finish up the modern day Shield. So kind of this history of Shield, and you could bring in Fury at some point, like a young Nick Fury. You can bring in these other characters.
Oh, young Nick Fury.
Honestly, I'm hoping
With hair.
Agent Carter ends
2 eyes.
with a looking exactly the same Nick Fury showing up.
They could. They could.
Oh, yes. Or Hasselhoff Fury shows up in Agent Carter.
Oh, dude, that would be incredible. Okay, wait. So, for those of us with wives that are like, meh, you want me to watch all these comic book TV shows?
She'll like Agent Carter.
Yeah.
What is
Agent
my
Carter's
selling point? What is my
it's a
30
female
second
Kick-ass
elevator pitch?
female.
I tried watching. What was that with Jennifer Garner that was really popular?
Alias.
Like a
That was
decade ago?
fantastic.
So, like, I really wanted to watch it, but it's so. Have you tried to watch it? Have you tried? It did not age well. Have you tried to go back and never? watch
Yeah, I
it?
did. I really like it.
Okay, well then, shockingly, you're not my wife.
Yeah. Well,
Which would be weird.
It'd be kind of weird. Yeah.
We don't judge.
All right. So, what is my 30 seconds? So, other than Kick-Ass, because I hated Alias. It just is. It dated so poorly, in my opinion. What is my?
Did she like Cap the first
Yeah,
one?
she liked. No, not the first one. She liked Winter Soldier though.
Okay.
If that helps your argument, maybe not.
Well, I mean, if she liked the character from Winter Soldier, I mean, this is just showing her past.
Well, this is
Yeah,
very
she doesn't
much.
give a
This
fuck
isn't
about
very much in
an
the
old lady
first
dying.
Cap universe,
Yeah,
basically.
no. That old lady that died. Woof, tell me more about her.
No, it's very much watch the first episode and
Yeah.
and just give it a shot. I mean,
just tell her
really
it's
compelling.
the latest Marvel show that you need to watch, and you would like her to watch it with you.
You tell her, hey, honey, remember Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah.
By the way, how good
We
was
did that
show
joke
when we were
already.
kids?
Dude, that show is
And we did that
fantastic.
joke. Thank you.
That show is fantastic.
And on that, we're going to
The
go
guy
ahead and
from-
wrap up.
I always
I'm
felt so
trying.
bad for the kids that got Africa because
Oh.
like some kids got North America and it was like boring, and
By
then
the
some
way-
kids got Africa and it was like Djibouti, and it was like I don't know where to put this little phone booth or whatever it was.
By the way, on the cartoon, there's that talking robot, right? The guy that's on the screen. The guy from NCIS LA, the computer geek, should totally play him in the movie or a TV show revival.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's all right.
We're going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode. Next week, you'll be back for the Where in the World is Toby Sandiego podcast, where Toby tells about all
I'll be
his-
in Sunnyvale, California,
His
at a
his
comic book
adventures.
store at 500 Fremont Avenue.
And why
50,
X-Men is so
85.
wonderful, and how Time Runs Out is actually really good still.
Please go listen to Ryan Hess's podcast at Reaching for Gaming.
Man, he gets two plugs.
Which is rfgpodcast at wordpress.com, and Albert Soy, Mike Campbell, and Niall Thomas. Thank all of you.
Thank you.
And the reason I'm thanking them is because they are members of our Patreon group at patreon.com/comic conspiracy. And we've had
we love our Patreon.
we do, and we've actually had
Our patrons.
a bunch of new people have jumped on in the last week or two. So we'll have a bunch of new people to thank next month. And if you want to be on that or get some cool swag or just throw us some cash for this podcast you listen to for free every week, it wouldn't be free if you gave us money, but that's the way things work. You can go to patreon.com/ again, it's Comic Conspiracy. So go do that and get some cool stuff. Don't forget to listen to our other episodes at geekbox.net. Also go to comicsconspiracy.biz, where you may not be able to listen to the last 30 episodes because I haven't been posting them.
Jesus.
But you can go buy some awesome sets as well as the upcoming Convergence set that's coming up. So go check that out.
And there's a nice little link on there to the digital store.
There is. Forums at geekbox.net, and the Geekbox Facebook group is where you can talk to us. So go there and talk to us about all this stuff. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That's the link for digital comics. Go buy
I've
through there.
decided I want 3 issues of that Gail Simone, Nightwing, and Barbara book.
We will have plenty.
3, Ryan, 3.
ConspiratorBrock.com. That's Brock's blog. You can go there and read his stuff and watch his videos. ComicsAndAkind.com. That is Omar. You remember him. He's out in Hawaii now, but we're still going to say you
Plays
should
a
go.
lot of basketball.
He plays a lot of basketball and eats a lot of ramen.
Very, very jealous.
With sand in his toes.
And
Sounds like a perfect life.
ComicsAndAkind.com. That's his site. Infinite Longbox Podcast and The Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension Podcast. Those are other things that Charlie does, so go listen to them.
What's the book club pick for? this
It is the
upcoming-
Hitman.
Our book club pick for this month is Hitman Volume 1.
The Hitman.
By Garth Ennis and John McCrae. So go read that. We'll be discussing that. If not next week, the week after, maybe next week. We're recording on a bit of a different schedule next week, so I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do. But it could be next week. You'll find out. Ryan Higgins, Ryan. That's me. I'm on Twitter. Brock is Brock Sager. Omar is Comics and Decline. Go tell them to
Come back.
Move back,
come back. And
dude. Have we talked
visit, be in the
that
podcast.
he's engaged? Have we talked about this?
Oh,
on the
yeah.
podcast?
I did not, but yes.
Oh, we
he's
didn't say it on the
engaged.
podcast, I think.
Dude,
Yeah.
congrats to our man.
He moved out there and got engaged. So, copying me, but that's fine. It's all right. That's all right, Big O. Bryce Larsen is Larsen Bryce. Toby's Toby XI, and Charlie's Insanity in Chaos. Ghost in the Geek Box, comedy button. Good job, Brain.
Ghost in the Geek Box?
Go listen to the Geek
Oh.
Box. Ghost in the Geek Box.
I heard go listen to, but Ghost in the Geek Box would be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Ghost in the Geek Box.
sounds kind of cool.
It would be cool.
That'd
Ghost
be our
in the-
spin-off.
Ghost in the Geek Shell.
Well, I'm just thinking they should just do a Ghost in the Shell episode of
Yeah.
Geek
Ghost
Box.
in the Geek Box.
That would require Adam Fitch getting up to speed on it, which is not going to happen.
He's not up to speed on that?
The comedy
That
button.
surprises me.
Good job, Brain, and
Come
the
on,
All
Miguel,
Talk
Gaijin,
podcast.
whatever your name
And
is.
I was on the 2014 year in review episodes of All Talk. So that was the 23rd and the 30th, I think, were the episodes. I can't remember what the dates were for the episodes, but go listen to those. I talk about my top 3 comics, TV shows.
And the anime
I'm
podcast
sorry.
is doing Slam Dunk, my favorite book of all time.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
amazing.
not comics. Video games, TV shows, and movies. Mostly they were about comic books. So
Yeah, because I'm like, didn't you already give that list already on
We
this
did.
podcast?
we did, and we had other lists there as well. So go listen to that. All right, we'll see everyone next week.